Carmelo Anthony with an all-white jury, he's cooked. I'm sorry to say it, but he might be cooked.
They knew what they were doing when they decided to move Carmelo Anthony's trial to Cullen County, Texas. Cullen County, Texas is 54% white and 12% black. How the hell was he going to be able to have a jury of his peers?
The prosecution has used its strikes to remove 3 prospective jurors who are black.
No black jurors in the Karmelo Anthony trial. Y'all must think we boo-boo the fool. Let's go ahead and say it. I'm sick of this now. Y'all keep acting like Karmelo Anthony a terror. This boy is a good student, and y'all got him on trial with people that don't look like him.
Well, we already know how this finna go. Even though Carmelo Anthony did absolutely nothing wrong, this is the jury that they selected.
Ladies and gentlemen, the black folks are about to crash out because this guy, Karmelo Anthony, the young man who stabbed Austin Metcalf, young white male, in the chest, in the heart, killing him in cold blood over a seating dispute, a little bit of musical chairs. Anthony's going on trial tomorrow, and he has no blacks on his jury. Of course, black folks are going to melt down about this because, as we've seen, a lot of these people are racist as hell.
These guys over here, they were supporting the one that was murdered. I'm more with them. They're over there supporting the murderer. And really, they don't care. They don't care what the facts are.
Like, just look at the fact that we have a give, send, go for Anthony here. They've raised over $600,000 with a goal of well over $1 million. They're trying to get twice as much money for this guy who decided that, hey, I'm not going to have anybody do any type of action against me for even a split second. Otherwise, I'm going to kill him. Guys, if I had stabbed people for any time somebody tried to push me or something, then, I mean, I probably would have got multiple life sentences by now. Like, this is just pathetic. And this is, again, one of the faults, I believe, of the parents, because apparently Anthony got in trouble for bringing knives to school before. Like, who the hell, did somebody instructing this kid to do this? Or were the parents telling him, hey, don't do this, and he went against their wishes? I highly doubt it. They probably told him, like, hey, anybody touch you, just go ahead and just go ahead and do that, because I know some parents are stupid. And unfortunately, their child is going to have to pay for their stupidity. But I want to go ahead and react to a video where they're talking about this in greater detail. So we're going to learn about this together. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Within the last hour, a jury has been chosen to decide the closely watched murder trial of Carmelo Anthony.
More than 500 people were on the list of potential jurors, but the jury will not include anyone who is black, despite this case being racially charged.
And I want to bear in mind, guys, I want you guys to bear in mind that they didn't say that there's an all-white jury, at least not yet. They said that there is no black juror. So there could be other non-white people, but we'll see if they comment on that.
Alex Boyer joining us now. Alex.
Hey guys, good evening. That's right. You know, and I can tell you that a court spokesperson confirmed that there are indeed no black jurors on this panel. And I can tell you that before this jury panel was seated, the defense objected to 3 black women being struck by the prosecution. Now, the prosecution contended that it was due to the fact that the women were educators, noting that this incident happened at a school function with young students. The defense then pointed out that those were 3 of those were 100% of the available black jurors in what's called the strike zone, adding that the state struck all 3. The judge went out and reviewed their questionnaires and came back and said that the defense's challenge to the 3 jurors being dismissed was denied. The judge said the court found that the state had non-racial means to strike the jurors. Now, background, Carmelo Anthony, 17 at the time, is accused of fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf last year at a Frisco ISD track meet. Anthony was reportedly sitting under a tent for a school that he did not attend. Witnesses say the two got into an argument and Anthony stabbed Metcalf in the chest.
I'm still curious, like, why the hell this kid was even there. That's the part of the story I really don't know. Like, it was worth fighting over. I don't know. Or, well, fighting over is one thing, but killing over.
Cap died in his twin brother's arms. Police said that Anthony told them he acted in self-defense. Now this case has become racially charged, fueled in large part by online speculation, rumors, and misinformation. On Wednesday, attorneys for both sides got an hour and 45 minutes to question the reduced poll of these potential jurors. They were questioned on their views on a variety of topics, including race, how they felt about serving on this case, and if they would hold it against the defendant if he chose not to testify on his own behalf. The defense also tried to gauge if the potential jurors would be uncomfortable giving Anthony a lower sentence if there is a guilty verdict. I talked to a jury consultant about the process so far.
It's an excellent team on both sides. I believe Bill Worski has, he's a veteran prosecutor. He's tried some very high-profile cases. And then Toby Shook has been both a prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. And then Mike Howard is an excellent criminal defense attorney as well. And they, along with the DA, it's going to be a very well-tried case.
And I did speak with Allison Richardson before the jury was sat, so I did not have a chance to ask her about these late-breaking developments. Now, this high-profile case continues to draw supporters and spectators to the Collin County.
Are we still doing like Black Power? They talking about we declare, says we declare, we decree he is free. Guys, this is a literal murderer, but let's keep going. I'll discuss more of my thoughts in a moment.
Courthouse. We saw another group of folks demonstrating at the entrance of the courthouse this afternoon. We expect that to continue throughout the trial, which the judge hopes to have wrapped up by the end of next week. And I can tell you that 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony was in court today for the proceedings. He was wearing a suit with a tie and a purple shirt, which is also the color many of his supporters have been wearing. He did take some notes during the proceedings. I can also tell you that there does appear to be some minorities on this jury panel. Again, however, none of them are African American. Opening statements begin tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Oh, I noticed they saved that for the end of the video.
In Frisco, thanks.
Yeah, they saved that key point for the end of the video, that there are minorities on the jury. They didn't say that earlier. They basically implied, because I've seen the videos, guys, that people think that this jury is all white. But the first thing I want to say is, guys, in regard to these dumb behind black folks out here, it's like every single time I see people defending straight up criminals. This is not some stand-up guy like Rashad Arbery, the guy who was literally like hunted down, right? Where they was hunting him down and just follow him around in their car, right? This isn't George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin, where Zimmerman hunted Martin down, right? This is a guy who was in a place he wasn't supposed to be. He got into a small altercation, and instead of, just duking it out, which he could have easily done, and he would have been fine. Metcalf would have been fine, and nothing. It would be like you didn't even remember it even happened. Nobody would even known about this, and they could have forgot it even happened. No, instead he chose the ultimate violence. He chose death. He chose murder on purpose. Here's a question: what was the threat to his life? Because that's how stand your ground works. Is that you have to have a reasonable belief that your life is in danger. You really think that, based off of literal testimony already provided by Anthony, that I told him touch me again, and or touch me and see what happens. And, he started grabbing on me, so I was afraid for my life. Like, you think anybody's going to buy that? This is just stupid, guys. The self-defense standard is definitely higher than that. It's not going to work. And the fact that you got people out here trying to argue in favor of criminals is just stupid. This is why a lot of people don't respect the black community, because you got a bunch of idiots out here arguing in favor of criminals, people who murder, out here stabbing people, out here robbing, in some cases stealing cars, doing armed robberies, burglaries, and then talking about they was a good kid. Like, these people are dumb. Who the hell wants to worry about a bunch of people out here robbing, stealing, and killing them just because they're black? It's okay. Well, white people do it. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Tons of people every day of all races get sent to jail and prison for committing crimes. These idiots will act like all the white folks just get away with everything. They commit every crime and get away with it. Like, guys, pay attention. You could go on and freaking watch Cops. Cops come on. It used to come on regular TV. It probably still come on regular TV. And you can see white people getting arrested all the time. But they act like no white folks get arrested for anything or get sent to jail for anything. Stupid people, guys. I don't know all the facts of this case. That's the only thing I'll concede. I don't know all the facts of this case. But I think that I know enough. If somebody got some additional details out here that prove that Anthony was somehow innocent, you know, maybe Metcalf had a weapon, even though they literally just said in this video he was unarmed. Everything I've ever seen said he was unarmed. They didn't say that Anthony was getting beat up. He wasn't getting jumped. He wasn't getting chased. Nothing was happening. So I'm not trying to hear this like they act like Anthony was the one who got killed. Just because there's some unjustified deaths of black folks out here doesn't mean that unjustified deaths of white people is something that a bunch of ignorant behind black people need to be cheering on out here, donating money to his family saying, yeah, kill the white people. You people are just as disgusting. If you end up supporting the very thing that you don't like that happens to your own community, then inevitably, how does that make you any better? These are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies, Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
And if I'm on the defense, I'm looking for a bunch of white liberals, because you know they love to be the black savior. Now, had this been the 1960s, I would say, yeah, this boy is getting hung. But this is 2026. And I can show you videos right now, YouTube, white people in the streets of New York kissing black folks' feet like they show enough.